Oh my goodness, what's up guys? How are you? Welcome back to my garden. This is like the 15,000th time that I have recorded this video, but I think we're gonna get it right this time. So it is officially 2025 garden season for me, which means the projects will begin. I've got a lot to do this year. Some things we're gonna update, some new stuff that we're adding. But today I wanted to hop back in, say hello. I've missed you guys so much, and do a quick walk around with you because y'all know, we just had that freeze. So I want to assess where the garden is real quick just to see what my damage is before I start actually doing stuff and taking you all along on the projects. It's about 10:15 in the morning, so I'm hoping the sun is not in a position where it's going to be too bright, but I'm really excited to be back outside. It feels so good. And my goal this year is to record all year, not just early spring. But it gets so hot that I've got to figure out how that's going to work. To you garden veterans, I am very interested, for those of you all that are making content, what you're doing during the summertime when it gets like too hot to film. Because I would love to stay a part of that conversation. But in the event that we only get to springtime videos, be sure you're connected with me over on the Home Decor channel because I'll be over there doing all the things. But today, let's do a quick walk around. For some of you all, if you've never met me before, I garden in Zone 8B in South Central Texas. So weather here, like the high is like 72 today. So we get hot real fast. I do a lot of flower and shrubs. I also have a veggie garden. So that's the content that I create for the channel. But today we're going to do a quick tour just to see how things are looking, chit chat about what the plans are so that we can kick this garden season off right. Let's hop into today's video. All right, I'm so excited because the sun is going to be our friend today. So let's start over here on the side yard. So this is my side yard for folks that are new. This is the west side of my house. And we're actually gonna start with what's in the front because we are not in full sun yet. And I've got some things to do over here. So here on the front southwest part of my yard, we installed this bed last year. This was a part of our spring projects. So we've got a crepe myrtle, these grasses. I don't know what happened to these, but we're gonna do something about that. This, what is it? I can't even think of the name of that shrub. I hate it though. It's coming out. And I had something here that did really well, and I plan to put it back. But things look okay. Like I expect the crepe myrtle to look like it looks. I don't know what happened with these grasses because they look good in other parts of my garden. But this did settle down a lot. So this year, I'm gonna come in and pull out the dead stuff. That's a lantana. It's not dead. It'll come back. Miss Molly looks really good. She just went to sleep after this last freeze. I'm going to add another lantana, and then I'm going to add this citrus. This is a Cedo Satsuma that can get down, I want to say to like 16 degrees. So I'm actually going to put that in the ground, and I'm putting it in the ground next to the house because I've seen other creators do that. So the root system isn't that bad. This is the garage, but then also if I need to cover it, it'll be easier to run the cover up against the house. It'll get the heat from the house. And then I have a plug that's over on this side that I can run like some incandescent lights to it to keep it warm if it gets super cold during the winter. But we're just gonna add some composting mulch to that bed, clean it up real good, and plant a couple of annuals there, and I think it'll be good. This bed we added last spring, This is an Eden climbing rose, and last year she didn't do nothing. I was able to get this amount of growth on it, but as far as like even leaves and flowers, oh girl didn't do nothing. Nothing. Now I've heard that to be the case for some of these, but this is her second season. Even after all of this super cold weather, she is leafing out really pretty. So I am hoping that this year she actually does what Edens are supposed to do. She's surrounded by a salvia here. Hopefully it survived. It don't look like it did, but salvias come a dime a dozen around here, so I can replace that. And then I've got another one that I'm gonna put here just to kind of have that here. I do have irrigation here that I'm gonna change. I think that might have been part of the problem too. The water was hitting it. So we're gonna pull this out so that it waters the grass, and then run a line to this at the base. But I really want it to like get up to at least half the arch this year. I've got some clematis started that I'm also going to add here in hopes that that would help fill it in too. And I'm on the fence on whether or not I'm going to add the clematis there, because I think I just really want it to do its thing for another year, and then we'll see how it goes. But I'm hopeful for her. Leaf structure wise, she looks good. She looks healthy. I've already pruned all my roses and all that good stuff, so we're crossing our fingers and hoping for the best. Hoping for the best. This is, God, what is that big guava? It's the huge one. I'll have to put the name of it on the screen, but I found her at my local garden center, and I was like, oh yeah, I love guava plants. So I'm gonna keep her in the pot, and this is gonna be her home this year. She gets big, but we have to be able to move this around, and I just like the way it looks. In the afternoon, this will be full sun, so she'll be good. I'm also going to run a line to it so we can water it on a daily basis from like the hose line up there. But I'm looking forward to that filling in. It's going to be so pretty. Now here, we are going to put, last year this was a temporary fix to a problem. This year the goal is to get the actual shed in so we can close these in, because I don't want to see the trash cans. I spend a lot of time over here, so I'm hoping to get that closed in and make it pretty. But if not, we'll clean it up, make sure everything's good. It's doable. I'm aiming for upgrading this season. Before we go there, so I added this, or I'm going to add this Bruce plum to the garden. So one of my goals with this part of the yard is to add 1-2 more fruit trees, and I just want this to be kind of like a little mini orchard, but only with the stuff that we eat. So this is a fig tree. We love those. We preserve those. We eat plums. And then I've got to figure out what other fruit tree is going to go here that can be self-fertile, but I'm looking forward to that. I can keep this one. This is a 10 to 15 foot tree, tall tree, but the goal is to keep it manageable. And look, she's starting to leaf out. This is one of the first things we're going to tackle, is getting her in the ground, because I want to see what that does for the season. I'm honest, not expecting any fruit, but if we get some, great. I've already pruned down our, what was these? Hibiscus. Holy Grail. I've already pruned down our Holy Grail hibiscus. I've pruned the fig tree. This looked like it fared well during the cold weather. This is the only branch that I'm really worried about, but I think it did okay. I've had brown turkey figs on the other part of town. One survived when they got that big snowstorm, so I think it's going to be fun. We're just going to put some composting mulch in here, clean it up, and I think she's going to be good. But I'm excited to see some fruit on that tree this year. This is our pink guava. I left her outside one day and it got down into the 30s and whole girl dropped all her leaves. Like, she was so mad at me. But every year I've had this tree, I've done that, and they come back. Like, she's already coming back, so she'll be fine. She produced fruit last year. It was great. It tasted good. I like it in this position when it's all leafed out. It looks so good. So we're just gonna leave it there. I don't think I'm gonna extend this bed this year. I say that but I've got a climbing rose. Nope, I'm not gonna do it. I say that, but we'll see how that goes. But for right now, I like the way it looks. It's very pretty. Like, when I'm over here and everything is leafed out and all grown up, it feels like a hug. It feels so good. Now, this is my antique rose, and I am hoping, because she had, as you can see, she was leafing out. Baby, she was going for it. And we got this last Polar Vortex, and I'm hoping it don't look like she's dead. Like, I'm hoping she's gonna fare well. I've got to come out, clean her up. It's gonna be so warm over the next couple of weeks that I am expecting new growth to come through this. This I will clean out this afternoon just to make sure it's good to go. Defoliate it, take all the dead stuff off, and cross our fingers for the best. I think it'll be fine though. This is an antique rose. This dang rose went through so much last year and it got so tall, like it was all the way up here. So I have no doubt that it will recuperate. I just hate to see it like that. It breaks my heart, but I understand. So add a little compost and get her cleaned up. I think she'll be fine. Now, this bed we installed at the end of the season last year. I don't even think we did a long video for this bed, but basically what I did is I extended this bed all the way around, and I'm so glad we did it. It is so pretty, and when everything is full, oh, so good. So this is a trellis from Vita, and I absolutely love it. We couldn't get it all the way in the ground because rocks, so we just kind of have it leaning, and it is done amazing. Like, this is a Peggy Martin rose. When I planted her last year, she was like here. That was the tallest limb, and look at it. This thing is gonna go crazy this year. I'm so excited to see this rose do its thing. It teased me at the end of the season last year because it was so warm in like November and December, and I saw a couple of blooms at the bottom. I am hoping that in March, with the warmth, that it starts to bud up, it comes back to life, and it brings me those beautiful blooms. Because can you imagine like this going all the way up? I cannot wait. I cannot freaking wait. We got a salvia here, which is I think it's the Rock and the Blues. Very pretty. Add some purple. So pink, purple. Like, it's a pink and purple show over here, and I love it. Then we add some pinkish orange. I've got some coneflowers in here that had started coming back, and then the cold knocked them back, but I'm sure they'll be fine. This rose, y'all see these roses? I defoliated these roses 3 weeks ago. Then we got a cold snap. This is Elizabeth by David Austin. She seemed to fare well. Eustacia by David Austin. She seemed to fare well. There are some leaves that are straggling. I'll come in here and clean it up a little bit, but they look good. They look all right. Got an aster, a couple of perennial moms. I moved her in the heat of the summer. This is Lil' Kim, Rosa Sharon. She's small, she's short. She leafed out, so I know she's still living. So I can't wait till that blooms. Some beautiful blooms. I know it'll be one of the last things in the garden to come back, but I do know that it's still living and it's good to go. Firelight hydrangea hadn't started to do anything yet. Oh yes, she is. She's starting to red up at the buds. This one actually flowered for me last year. I think I'm gonna give it a little more space this year because we've got a little bit more protection from the sun. So this was a salvia here. I think I'm gonna move it to the edge all the way over so that that has more room to grow. That's like an 8-foot plant. I've got it here on the corner. It gets full sun. It did really well last year after I figured out how to keep it watered. So I'm hoping this year, with it being second full season, third season in place, that she really takes off. That's the hope. We'll see how it goes. We'll watch it. This is Hybrid Tea Rose, Rose Gemini. She performed so good last year. Oh God. Like, I could see the roses out of my bedroom. I used to sit in like my chairs. Ugh, it was so pretty. Like, I am so ready for the warmth to come so she can do it again. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pink rose. Not very fragrant, but gorgeous and huge, and they last for a long time. Like, I would have bundles. I could literally cut one of the stems and it could be its own bouquet. Absolutely gorgeous. In case you hadn't realized, I am a rose, like, between roses and hibiscus, I am obsessed. So I think I have 17 roses in this space from here to here, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Like, there's always space for a rose. I think I've bought all of the roses that I'm going to buy for this season. I'm going to find some more places for some more hibiscus plants to go. These never bloomed last year. They are dianthus. I put them back here because they're so fragrant, but I think the problem is, y'all see how shady it is, and it's going to stay like this until like 1 o'clock. I think the problem is this time of the year is when they're supposed to bloom. I could be wrong. And they need full sun, and I don't think they're getting enough sun to bloom. I thought about taking them out, but I like the blue color of the leaf structure, so I'm torn because I kind of want to leave them. This bed is difficult because now through like April, it'll be shaded up until like 1 or 2. Then April and May will roll around, and then the summer will come a little sooner, like 11. Then when it is the heat of the summer, it will be full sun all day. And I've got to find a mix. Like these azaleas, this is an Encore azalea. They did well. They're supposed to bloom spring, summer, and fall. I ain't getting no blooms in the summer, and I think it was because it was too stressed. That says it can be in the sun. I don't know. My Roman candle did good, and then the sun stops like here. So my Limelight Prime, as you can see, is reaching for the sun. I don't know. I don't want to dig it up and move it again because it's beautiful, but I don't know if it's getting enough sun. And then I don't know if it was just a matter of the season. This is its second full season, third partial season, if that makes sense. Like, I moved to mid-season 3 years ago this year, so I don't know if it was just seasonality. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a year this year to see what happens. I may have to move it, but I don't know. My Aztec grass, some of it fared well, some of it didn't. That one should be fine now. It comes back. And then these Polar azaleas, I don't know if my dog or armadillo dug them up, but somebody dug them up, and they dug them up during the cold season. I missed it, came out, saw they were dug up, replanted them, and I am praying that they make it. If not, I'll find something else to put there. This bed we installed last season. Y'all, I was busy last season. I was busy. I installed this bed last season, and it went through a couple of iterations, but I think we found the one. So the goal of this is to hide underneath the deck. I don't want to see that. And then to provide some closed in kind of privacy while we're on the deck. So I installed 2 climbing roses, David Austin Strawberry Hill, David Austin Generous Gardener. Last year, we didn't know if this was the generous gardener, but it is. It is absolutely the generous gardener. At the beginning of the season, it gave me this shrimpy little rose. I was so frustrated, but by the end of the season, I got beautiful roses. And this, compared to Strawberry Hill after the freeze, is phenomenal. It's leafing out. It doesn't get as much sun as Strawberry Hill, and it looks better. Strawberry Hill gets more sun, and she took more damage during the freeze. So I've got to clean her up, just like the antique rose. Sorry about that, y'all. But she's recovering. Look, growth points coming out of everywhere. I'm not concerned about my roses at all. But what I think I'm gonna do as an addition to this space is, I think I'm gonna add another trellis, and I might put a clematis on that middle trellis. The clematis can fill up the middle trellis, and then I want to make room for these branches, because you see how crazy Strawberry Hill went last year. Like, this is all 1 year growth, 1 year plant. So if that is year 1, I can only imagine what year 2 is going to look like. So I want to make space for it to fill in the middle and run both branches together. That way you got 2 different roses kind of playing with each other. They smell, oh my god, the smell is phenomenal. But I only get roses twice a season. I don't know if it was because of first season rose, but during the summertime, maybe it was water, I don't know, maybe it was the heat. They didn't really flower, but once it got cooler again, they both started flowering again. It was gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. This is a blue, this is a Rose of Sharon purple pillar. I put this here so that it can grow tall and fill in the space, but I don't know if I'm gonna need it. But I also don't want to move it. I don't know, I gotta figure out the details. Like, I know I want the other trellis there. I may just put the other trellis there and let the roses go behind it. I don't know, child. But if I do move this purple pillar, I'm gonna put it along this fence line that we're gonna go to in a minute. But I hadn't figured that out yet. But I do like this. This is a very special part because I can sit on the balcony or under the covered patio. I can sit on the deck. I can sit in my little chair and see this. It's absolutely gorgeous. I can look past it, and when everything is in bloom, like pinks, purples, just gorgeous. So looking forward to that coming out. Back along this fence line, oh my goodness, now this took some heat. So last season I planted tangerine crossvine, and it did fine until the fall, and then the deer came in and tore me a new one. This is all deer damage. I've put her back up with the hopes that she will recover. I've got new growth points here where she's coming out. I just don't know how full she's gonna get. So my idea is to supplement with like a purple hyacinth bean just for this season here. Train it to come in the middle while that recovers. I'm gonna have to do some deer maintenance back here, spray, make sure they are keeping their distance because they got me, and they did it for both of them. And the only reason why they didn't get down here is because that lining is there. So lesson learned, I need to spray her down. If she recovers, I will spray it down. I love the tangerine crossvine. If I have to replace it, I will, but I'm hoping, like, both of them seem to be coming back. It's early, so you can't really tell, but these are like evergreens. They were so pretty, like the leaves on them were so pretty, and the deer just came and said, okay, thank you for dinner. It took me down. In the front, these viburnum, they were fine until the last freeze. I don't know if I didn't water them, and I think that's the difference. The first freeze, I came out here, watered everything. The last freeze we got a little rain, but I still should have come out here and water because they got hit hard. And I'm sure it's a combination of it being first year in the ground, probably access to more wind, but they will recover. They do recover. I just hate to see them in this way, both of them. Like, that one's been through so much. Root ball got chopped off when we planted it because my son just grabbed it and slung it in there. But I'm hoping that now that it's warmer, come out here and water them real well, that they'll come back with no issues. Fingers crossed, y'all pray. This is a new rose we are adding this year. I'm so excited about her. This is Perfuma Earth Angel. Can't wait. Cannot wait. I don't think that that's going to be her home. I have another rose that I'll show y'all in another video on the way here that I think is going to go right there, that will play better with this pink knockout that is here. And if that's the case, then I got to find a home for her, which is not going to be a problem. I can do it. I just got to figure out where it's going to go. My pink knockout had started leafing out, and y'all see she ain't like it, but she growing. So roses grow fast. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. That's what I keep telling myself. My true sincerities doing good. They took a little hit, but again, they'll recover. These penstemon never went to sleep. Never went to sleep. I'm hoping my Jane flowers are okay. I'm gonna come in and put some flowering fertilizer down because it's her time to bloom. See how that works. Hibiscus have already been pruned back. It's the other true sincerity. This one didn't do that well last year, but we'll see how it goes. So along here, last year I tried to make it all tropical. It kind of grew into each other. I planted some hibiscus plants here, the roselles, and they did amazing, but it was all over the place. So I'm gonna move those this year. And this year I'm gonna do something more perennial. I've got another one of these Vita type arches coming because I'm so excited about this rose. I got Colette. So I'm gonna let her climb on that. Surrounded with some cannas, some daylilies, butterfly bushes. I'm thinking I've got this Meyer lemon. So I'm thinking I've got a key lime. I'm thinking to flank it with citrus, and I think that's gonna be the fence line. Those have to stay in pots, so they're mobile, but I think that's gonna be the fence line this year. Be a lot more structured, and it won't be all up in my neighbor's business either, because that was embarrassing. Plant just growing all over her tree, all over her fence line. Down here we have little quick fires in the pot. They are still alive, and I think I'm just gonna leave those in the pot this year and let them grow from there. If they get too much sun during the summertime, I'll move them, but I'm gonna run drip lines from the patio to them so I can keep them hydrated, give them sun but protection from the tree. So these go in and out of the sun all day, and I think that'll be better for them, and I can actually get some hydrangea flowers. Cross our fingers. Down below, Southern Wax Myrtle looking good. All these viburnum did well. I can tell you what's not doing good. My camellias. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. One is halfway holding on. The other is checked out a little bit. I think this is gonna be the season that I just take them out. Down here, I have like one of the small hydrangeas. I've got some wild berry heucheras, some hostas in the ground. I'm gonna put some caladium bulbs down and figure out what to do with those two camellias. I have a shaded spot that I need to plant something in, I might move the healthy one again to under the tree back there and see what happens. But I just don't know if it likes to be in the ground. We'll see. Elsewise though, this is the 3rd full year for these, and they look amazing. I expect a lot of growth off of these. We'll hedge them next year. For now, I'm just gonna leave them kind of wild, let them grow. This particular wax myrtle, my dog obliterated last year. So we got a puppy, Dallas, y'all seen her, and she took off a whole branch. It was a full branch. I hope it recovers. It looks like it will. I'm gonna give it time, but right now it's on a gangster lean. These look good. I can even smell these. I don't see the flowers, but I definitely smell them, and they smell so sweet. I fixed the irrigation over here, so everybody's getting watered like they should. I'll come in and take the dead stuff off, but they look really good. I am fully expecting fence line growth on all of these, even the ones that are in a little bit more shade. I think they're gonna give us that fence wall this year. Fingers crossed. Over here we have arbor coming, because I have another climbing rose that we're going to install over here. This part of the yard gets sun most of the day. This goes in the shade, so I'm gonna put her on this side and grow her over. And then I'm thinking about adding like a little bed to go up against the wall, particularly on that side. And then we've got to decide, because we need to know what to do. We got to fix this erosion problem, and the erosion is happening because there's no gutters, so we got to install gutters. Long story, I'll get into that when we start doing the installation, but I need to figure out what's going to happen here. I have this earmarked for a hot tub. I don't know if we're going to do that. If we do, then this is paver base leveled out. If not this year, we're gonna hold off. Then I gotta even this out and figure out what's gonna happen. I don't want to do anything permanent here like plants, because I have this earmarked for a hot tub, but we got to figure out this erosion problem, and that has to happen this year. So I'll take y'all along when we do that, but we got to figure it out, and we got to figure out the grass situation back here. It's sun now, but the second part of the day is shade. I don't know if I want to drop seeds or if I just want to get, I don't know what I'm going to do, but we got to figure out how to regrass this because it needs it. And then down here, we have a similar erosion problem where the water is running off of the house that we've got to fix. So here we got to fix this. This will be plants. That is where I'm thinking about putting a camellia and then regrassing it, because my puppy likes to dig where there's no grass. So yeah, that's what we're looking at so far up here on the deck. The pots are out. I've got here, let me turn you around and then we'll chat. Now up here on the deck, some of the pots, like I remember we planted her last year. She sat in this exact spot, and I've been taking them in and out. When it's warm, they stay. When it's cold, they go in the garage. This one is a hibiscus, beautiful flowers. I let it get hit by a little cold, but that's okay. They're resilient. She'll come back. She'll fully leaf out, especially now that it's warm. It'll be good. I did move these pots. There was a pot here. I'm getting rid of this tower planter. It's too easy for my dog to knock over. I had this thing planted up with veggie starts, and I came out the next morning after my dog had used the restroom, and that's why all the dirt is all over the place. I'm over it, but I do have some vertical planters to replace it. I've got two. I don't know that they're going to sit on the patio though. I'm thinking I am going to put them out here somewhere because it's a part of the edible area. I didn't even show y'all the veggie beds. We doing bad. Like, I didn't cover it because I caught myself just letting it go because the first freeze it did so well. And child, if I tell you this look a hot mess, a hot mess. So I'll do a whole video to come out here and clean this up. I have starts in the garage. I'm just not gonna put them in here for a couple of weeks because I just don't want another cold snap. But I say all of that to say is I got vertical planters. I just got to figure out where to put them. What other planters? This did well this year, so I actually need to give it some water. The fern is doing good. I've got some begonia bulbs I'm gonna stick in there. She did really good. So proud of her. Last season we added a fire pit up here. It's so dirty, I gotta clean it up. Those are heirloom roses. I'm gonna unbox those with you in a couple of days. You're gonna love it. This other hibiscus, look. She's so confused, but the flowers are so pretty. I'm gonna come out here, water everything in real good. Look, my little Majesty palm. We lost a couple of deals to cold, but she looks good. She looks good. So I am super excited about this season. I'm so happy to be back in the yard. Now that I know where everything kind of stands, we will start our projects. I think the first things first, we're gonna plant that fruit tree. But what I plan to do is I'm just gonna turn the camera on every day when I come out here, record, and then we'll chit chat at the beginning of the videos about what we got done, and I'll show you how I do it. But we got a full spring of full projects, and I can't wait to share them with you. Welcome back, y'all. Excited to be here. I will chat with you in the next video. Bye now.